I love fall. I love when the weather starts cooling off and hot coffee tastes good again and you just want to cuddle up with your kiddos and read books. And not to say we don't do that all year long, but there's just something special about fall, right? Well, today I'm going to be sharing with you a variety of books for the fall. These are just fun fall books. There's nothing like necessarily educational about them. They are just books that we enjoy reading. I promise I went through and did my due diligence to only share with you the best books that I really recommend this season. Quick note, find more book reviews from us in our playlist, Book Review Shorts. They're all a minute or less. You can look up a specific book, or if you subscribe, you'll see more books as we publish them, specifically more fall books coming up in the near future. Now, when you're done with this video, make sure to jump over to Jackie's channel at These Days. She is a mom of 4 boys, and funny fact, just like me, her oldest is 7 and his name is Eli. I know! I love this lady. I'm so excited to get to know her more. We've been chatting back and forth. Her heart is beautiful. We both have videos on leather purses or backpacks that support ministries. You should check them out. So I just have a lot in common with Jackie. Really excited. You should go check her out too. She'll be sharing living books for the fall. I'm really excited to see what she recommends also. So make sure to hop over there when you're done here. Let's get started, shall we? We're a family of 6 that enjoys learning about new cultures, homeschooling, and sharing the love of Christ with others. Make sure to subscribe to follow along, and welcome to the Bear Hill family. Okay, well, in here, like I said, these are fall book recommendations for the whole family. So we're going to start with board books and work our way up to picture books and chapter books. First, I really like this one. This is just a little one for like your 0 to 3-year-olds is what we're looking at. Are You There, Little Fox is an Usborne book, and it's got all of these finger trails in it, and you're just looking for, is that your nose? Nope, it's a ladybug. It's just fun. And once you read it to your kid a couple of times, they're gonna sit down on the couch or in bed and they're gonna play with it and they'll be able to like read it to themselves, right? And plus, spoilers. Look at them. It just warms your mama heart. Okay, that's my first one. Then I've got It's Pumpkin Day Mouse. This book has been so loved by my kids, and actually it's Bjorn's favorite. It's his favorite book out of the whole year. He loved this one when he was little. And you're gonna count the pumpkins, and you're gonna see different expressions for the pumpkins. Oh, Mouse painted a sad face on this pumpkin. Oh, silly face. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's embarrassing. We're gonna stop. You can just do it yourself with your kiddos. It's Pumpkin Day Mouse. Really fun book. Now, my son, Oaken, he's 3 years old. We love everything. Acorns, oak trees, squirrels. We're all about them. So when I saw this book, I had to pick it up from the library, Little Acorn, and I'm so sad that I hadn't found this one sooner. So for this one, I would say like 2 to 6, maybe. It's actually really educational, and it's the life of an acorn. So you start off with this little acorn, and he's just the cutest little happiest guy, and he even starts sprouting. And so there's lots of information here. And then in the end, you talk about the cycle of an oak tree. Check that one out for those kiddos. Oh, and the book is like one of those really fun plushy books. I don't know. I really liked it. Sticking with the acorn theme, we've got one more acorn. This is about a squirrel, a daddy squirrel, who's collecting acorns for his family in Washington, D.C. You're going to see the Washington Monument, and you're going to see other memorials throughout Washington, D.C. And yeah, just thought it was really cute. If it was like election season, you would definitely want to get this book out to bring your littlest kids into the conversation and story and show those different highlights. This is a really cute book. One more acorn. Oaken's asked me to read it to him like 4 times already, and we're hardly into fall. By the time you're watching it, I'm sure I'll have read it a ton more times also. Now, I love apples and warm apples, specifically warm apples and cinnamon. And it is almost apple season. We just need like our first good frost. But what would you do with those apples if the market was closed? This is how to make an apple pie and see the world. And if you didn't have a market, where would you have to go to get all of the ingredients? Maybe you'd have to go to Italy to get the wheat, and there you go, and France to get eggs from chickens. Where would you go to get cinnamon? So this is a really cute one on this channel. I love sharing different ways to teach your kids about the world, cultures and geography and all that's encompassed in that. So this one is a big highlight for me, how to make an apple pie and see the world. Make sure to check that one out too. If you are going to be going through any kind of transition with your family, Little Tree is the book for you and your kiddos. I'm not going to put an age on this one. We could probably all learn from it. It's about a little tree that loves his leaves. And when fall comes, all the other trees are saying goodbye to their leaves. But he loves his leaves. He doesn't want to say goodbye. And so he holds on to them all through winter and the next spring. But then the other trees grow and he doesn't. But eventually he says goodbye to his leaves and good things happen, right? And so it's hard to say goodbye to what we know and what we love, but there are good things in store, and I just really like this book. Stay tuned for more family updates from our family. Not today, sorry. This is Sleep Tight Farm. Sleep Tight Farm is about tucking a farm into bed, basically. How do you cover the strawberries for winter? How do you prepare the hoop houses? What do you do with the different farm animals? It's all going to be covered in this book. It's very cute. Really enjoyed flipping through it, and we're going to be learning about farms more this fall, so we'll be introducing this book to our kiddos then. Really a cute book. In our house, Dad does the bedtime reading. I read to the kids all day long, and so it's really nice. He likes reading to the kids too, and these are books that are typically a little less educational or on that side. Currently, he is reading Little House in the Big Woods to the kids. And that's actually a really educational book. It talks about preserving food for the winter, how you get different food. I read this book to my kids about a year and a half ago, and they really liked it then. I really wanted Dad to read it to them and kind of like do some refreshers. It also fits with like topics that we're doing in school. So he's reading Little House in the Big Woods to them currently. When they're done with that, they are going to be reading Heartwood Hotel, A True Home. This is about a little mouse who becomes a maid in this tree hotel that's kind of a, what's the word? It's a refuge. It's a refuge for other little animals to stay safe in through the winter. It's adorable. Sometimes I feel like we read books that are a little advanced for our youngest kid. He's 3, right? But my 7, 8-year-old, they all get bedtime stories together. And sometimes they're geared a little bit older, and then my little one just has to mature or handle it, or I don't know, like it's hard being a parent. But this one I think is going to be great for especially his age. I think my 7, almost 8-year-old is going to like it. He usually likes action, a little bit more action in his stories, but I think he'll actually really like this one. So I'm excited for Dad to read it to them. Heartwood Hotel, A True Home, and I've seen that like there's like a winter one and other seasons too, so I'm excited to see those in the future, but this one's pretty precious. Now, graphic novel. I read this one with my 7-year-old. I would have preferred if I would have maybe waited a little bit. I do think it's more of like the middle grade. The only reason this book is fall, in my fall recommendation, is because I think the colors are really warm and fall-esque. This is also a Dungeons and Dragons-esque book. So what happens is it's a girl and a gold durian, and the Goldurian is of a different race. They're going to find on a quest to find her pig wizard uncle, and they meet all kinds of other creatures and go on unexpected adventures in this book, and in the end it leaves you wanting more, but the book 2 hasn't been released yet. But we thought that this was a really fun book. However, like, there are some kind of older characters in it maybe too, so there's not pages on all of them. It's just a fun read. It's not an educational read, but we really liked it, and it was kind of a different style than what we've done in other times, so that might be a good one. Interesting one. I bet nobody else is recommending it for fall, so hey. All right, the last book that I want to recommend, and I know it's not really like necessarily a fall book, but it's what I'm recommending you read this fall. And I would recommend this for my high schoolers. When my kids are high schoolers, they will most certainly read this book. It is Something Needs to Change by David Platt. A call to make your life count in a world of urgent need. David takes you along on his trek through the Himalayas. It's really like a journal style that he's written it, and he tells you what he witnessed and saw that day. He tells you about the diseases that have gone through these communities and taken parents or loved ones, the effects of trafficking, the way that kids with special needs are treated, the lack of food. It's so much. It's kind of overwhelming. There were a lot of times I had to just kind of like set it down and not even finish a chapter because it's really challenging. And how are we treating our neighbor? How are we loving others who are around on the other side of the world? And just because we can't see what's going on doesn't mean we can't do something about it. So it really challenges you to kind of think through, am I doing what God has called me to? Am I acting the way that I should? Is it possible that God is calling me overseas to help in some of these situations? And he shares stories of how God has called even really unique people with unique skill sets, and how he can use you in these situations to help and to not only meet the physical needs but the spiritual needs, and kind of the struggle of understanding which one should we meet, chicken or egg kind of situation, like physical, spiritual, like where do we go with that? It's just really good. Make sure to read it with your spouse. The second time I read it to Thor, and it really made us talk a lot. And I would just please read it. Please read it. Okay. What do you think? Was there anything that I shared today that you are like adding that to my library list? Or if you don't go to your library or can't find it in your library, I'll have a link in the description as well so that you can buy it off of Amazon. What did you think? Any that's really stuck out at you? I would love to know. I'm gonna head over now and check out Jackie's channel at These Days to see what book recommendations she has, because I know she's gonna have some good ones too. Thank you so much for watching. I'm excited to get to know you all better. Say hi in the comments, and we will see you next time.